Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my Harvest Moon Back to Nature slow playthrough bonus episode. So, as you know, last week marked the end of my Harvest Moon Back to Nature playthrough. Once again, thank you so much to every single one of you that engaged with the series, whether it be commenting, liking, or just watching. Your support meant the absolute world to me, and yes, I'm still very emotional and sad that it's over. So, during my playthrough, there were questions I asked and things we didn't get to see. I'm going to answer / show them in this bonus video, so I hope you enjoy. First of all, because of my horrendous betting, we missed one of the power berries during my playthrough, which was the power berry at the horse race. So you needed 999 medals in order to get the power berry. I didn't quite manage it in my 100% playthrough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play you a clip where we do get that final power berry. Next, there is one event in Year 4 during winter and one event in Year 5 during fall. I call it autumn, of course. Now, unfortunately, I didn't quite get round to getting all the way through to winter Year 4 in my playthrough, nor did I get to any point of Year 5. Obviously, we ended my playthrough off at the end of Year 3. And so I have looked online to see if I can find those events, and I have managed to find them. So hopefully the creator of these videos doesn't mind me taking them. I will, of course, link them in the description box below. But these are the events for Year 4 and Year 5 that you missed. So first up, we have Year 4 Flashing Object. Such a sweet random event there. And up next we have Year 5, the Phony Gourmet. And there you have it, a bit of a strange event, not one I'd ever personally seen before. Now, there are many more events depending on who you marry, but I'm not going to be showing all of those in this video. Instead, I would encourage you to play this game for yourself if you haven't already, and then you get to see the events for the other bachelorettes. But I'm not going to show them in this video, just know that they are a thing. Now we go on to questions that I have asked during my playthrough that I never managed to answer. So the first one, what is shogi? So we saw on the television that they were playing shogi quite a lot, and I compared it to chess. So what is shogi? Let's answer it now. Well, it turns out I was right. Shogi is in fact known as Japanese chess, and it means general's board game. So you may have heard of shogun before. The show is general. One of the most popular board games in Japan. Here is a depiction of it now. I'm not going to go into the rules or anything like that, but it has a very, very interesting history. And yes, to answer the question, shogi is a real game. Next, one of the festivals in the game is the Tomato Festival, and I asked if there was a real tomato festival. Well, it turns out there is. So, the most famous tomato festival, and the original, I believe, is a festival in Spain called La Tomatina, and it's very, very similar to the one in Harvest Moon. It has been referred to as the world's biggest food fight at one point. It has spread to other places such as China, the US, and Costa Rica, but it doesn't seem to be a huge thing in Japan at all. So it's very interesting that they decided to use this festival in the game. Now, I haven't played many other Harvest Moon games, so I don't know if this is a feature in future Harvest Moon games. We might have to wait and see on that one, but I know obviously clearly it's definitely a feature in this one. Very interesting that they chose to include it. It's not a thing in the UK either, where I'm from, not at all. But I'm just going to quickly show you a picture of the Tomato Festival in Spain. Very gross picture. I don't like it. Not one I'd participate in, that's for sure. And finally, another miscellaneous question I had was there are other places referenced on the television when you watch the news, etc., etc. And I wondered out loud if they were in any past or future Harvest Moon games, if any of the names of the other towns were referenced anywhere else. So a lot of the names of the other towns and cities was on the TV show What's Your Passion. In this one, they reference Yoshi in Leaf City. So I wanted to have a look and see what that could be all about. So let's start with Leaf City. So there is no Leaf City in the Harvest Moon franchise, but there is a Leaf Valley, which is the setting of Hero of Leaf Valley. So I wonder if maybe Leaf City was changed to Leaf Valley later on, or if it's completely a coincidence. Now, I haven't actually played Harvest Moon Hero of Leaf Valley. Maybe it's one for the future. Who knows? So outside of Harvest Moon, Leaf City could also be a reference to Leaf City from Naruto, although I think this is unlikely, as Naruto and Back to Nature both released in 1999, so I'm not sure about that one, but it's a Japanese connection, perhaps. This is a picture of Leaf Valley from Naruto as well. Now we'll move on to the Yoshi that is referenced. Yoshi seems to be a clear reference to the Nintendo character. Of course, Yoshi, most commonly associated with the Super Mario series. You can see him on screen now. I did have a little look to see if there was any Yoshis in future Harvest Moon games, and there isn't. So I'm assuming this is a Nintendo reference. Next up, again on What's Your Passion, was a reference to a flower garden city. Now, as far as I can tell with my research, I can't find a reference to Flower Garden City in Harvest Moon anywhere, and I could find nothing really that this could be referencing. So some beautiful flower gardens are sometimes called Flower Garden City, but it's a stretch. I think this is just a random name, personally. There are some beautiful flower gardens in Japan. They are known for them, but there's beautiful flower gardens everywhere. So, yeah, I think this one's a bit of a stretch. I don't think Flower Garden City refers to anything at all. This is a bit of a funny segment, though, talking about knitting for the dog. Who knows? But anyway, Flower Garden City is absolutely not a reference to anything in Harvest Moon or outside of Harvest Moon, as far as I could tell. I think it's just a pretty name. We have one more. Now, next up, we have a reference to a pine from Walnut City. Now, I think pine is just a clever play on pine nut, walnut. I don't think pine means anything. I've looked in future Harvest Moon games. I can't see anything to do with pine. There is no Walnut City in future Harvest Moon games either. However, walnuts are a foraging item required for certain quests and things in the Winds of Anthos. I think they're in a couple of other Harvest Moon games as well. And there is a walnut forest, I believe, in Harvest Moon Save the Homeland. So, a couple of references there to walnuts, but not a Walnut City. And looking back on my playthrough, they were all the references I could find, because I think What's Your Passion changes to TV shopping for quite a while. So I think they're all the references to other towns and cities I could find. I could be wrong. But that marks the end of this Harvest Moon Back to Nature bonus video. So thank you very much for watching. And again, thank you to everyone who watched my playthrough. It really, really does mean and meant the world to me. So for now, we're going to say goodbye to Mineral Town. Will it be forever? Who knows? Mineral Town is in a few more Harvest Moon games, so we may be revisiting it at one point. But until then, bye Embers.